XS, Extraordinary Superior Gundam. Hey, it's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs from gundam.tk, and today I'm here with a review of one of the largest master grades there is, and it's the XS Gundam, which can also be called the Extraordinary Superior Gundam, and I just have to say that that's probably my favorite name in the whole Gundam meta series. This model kit was produced and first made in 2003, and it sells for the price of 8,000 Japanese yen, so you could call that roughly 80 bucks US. One of the best parts of buying Gundam plastic models is the fact that you can buy old ones all the time because Bandai just does new print runs, and that's a lot better than something like, let's say, Transformers, where you want to go get your hands on an Overlord or a Star Saber or something like that. But anyway, this XS Gundam it's been a while since it's had a production run, which means that it's sold out almost all over the country, and if you're looking to buy it online, it's probably going to cost more than the 8,000 yen. So anyway, you can either pay more or just hang on for a new print run. So you might be asking yourself, which anime is this from? Because just from the cover of the box, you could probably think that the model itself looks pretty cool. But what happens was the magazine Model Graphics, basically in the late 1980s, was running, they were basically designing their own model kits. And as such, they also had a serialized novel that took place throughout their magazine. And eventually that got collected into this book, which is Gundam Sentinel, The Battle of Real Gundam. In-universe story, this takes place between Zeta Gundam and Double Zeta Gundam. And because of that, it was the 1980s and Transformers were all the rage. So of course, this Gundam also transforms, and you'll see a lot of similarities in armament and disposition towards the Double Zeta Gundam. But then again, it was done with a really highly realistic and more militaristic feel. Now, whether something is canon or not is always either fun or incredibly frustrating to argue about, but something this has going in its favor is just the fact that it was made back in '87, and that's the prime of Gundam for Japanese fans, and so Zeta's running, Double Zeta's running, etc. So fans that were aware of model graphics were probably aware of the S Gundam, and if they weren't from that, the fact that it always showed up in G Generation, etc. like that, and the fact that there were a lot of different model kits released, etc., sort of gives this a little bit more credence than some of the other Gundam spin-offs. But then again, is it as good as an animated lead Gundam? Well, I don't think you could argue that, but maybe you could make the point this is as strong a candidate as Crossbone Gundam. So here is BB Senshi, number 22, the Superior Gundam. So even back in 1989, they were making kits where this was sort of a part of the Gundam mythos. In the novel, the S Gundam, or Superior Gundam, is the lead Gundam, but midway through, in chapter 7 or 8 or something, anyway, the XS Gundam makes its appearance, and basically all it is a modified S Gundam with a ton of extra weapons, and especially a whole bunch more stuff on the back, and that's going to come into play, of course, in the model. So you can get a master grade of the regular S Gundam, but in this case I decided to go with a bigger, bulkier one. When you crack open old master grade boxes, you often got a cardboard insert. It's a pretty small one. If you have the master grade Double Zeta or something like that, it's a really big thing, the same size of the box. This is only 1/3 the size of the box, which is about the same size as a standard small master grade. For plates, once you've actually put everything together, I've separated these because these are the S Gundam plates, and it's written right on there, S Gundam. There's no attempt to differentiate them. But over here, these are the parts that the XS Gundam comes with, and of course that's why the box is bigger, because when these are filled with parts, especially the big blue ones, they get quite a bit bigger. For the S Gundam parts, the A plate is going to come with clear parts, yellow on 2 sides, and white, and then you're going to get a plate of blue and 2 plates of red, but otherwise mostly gray inner frame. And when you're looking at the XS Gundam, the A plate here comes with an orange, which actually stands out very well. It's very different from the yellow. Red, you've got some gray dark parts there, white, and then otherwise you're just going to get 2 plates of blue, which are identical. Otherwise everything again is inner frame. A huge number of color seals that are going to go all over this. Mostly there's red trim around what sort of looks like the wings, but that's all done not with red parts but with red stickers, which is a little disappointing. But the shiny blue does look good, and otherwise you just have the main parts for the head there. These dry decals are going to go on for me later just because the Gundam system is just, for whatever reason, such a cool designed logo, and the O1, I just have to decide which arm to put it on. And this big XS Gundam mark is designed to go on the action base, or the base itself. And of course you also get a bunch of regular just marking seals. Here are some of my leftover screws or bolts, and anyway, when you get this bag, it's going to be filled at the beginning, so again, be careful that you're differentiating them properly when putting them in. Inside the manual, it's very standard for an early 2000 master grade, so you're going to get some story about the Gundam itself, a fictional parts list. Inside you get a huge list of plates. Also, make sure you have a screwdriver because this thing comes with a lot of bolts or screws or whatever you want to call them, but you've got 15, 8, and 4 plus extras, so you've got a lot of little parts to go in there. Here you can see you're going to manufacture the big stand, and that's necessary because you'll find that the XS Gundam doesn't want to stand on its own. Then you build the core fighter, some fictional parts, including some very cool looking line art, and when you get to the inside you get some splash color pages, but you'll notice that this Gundam is hardly ever posed, and that's an indication of its huge lack of mobility. The directions are fairly easy to follow. The only thing that I'd really say to be careful of is to make sure you're putting in the right screw when you're putting them in, because they do show you the life-size thing, so you just put the screw up there and make sure it's the right one, because if you do put in the wrong one, you can really wreck the threads. And once you get to the back, you'll notice that they have the instructions on how to transform this from mobile suit mode into the G Cruiser, which is just an absolute beast of a mobile armor. And it looks pretty complex for the transformation, and it's all done in photos instead of line art, which is a little unusual. Here's where to put on all the seals and decals, etc., and on the back, as is standard, you're going to get a shot of the back of the XS Gundam. The thing that really blew me away when I was building this is you'll notice once you build the chest and the waist armor is that they don't even pretend that you're going to be able to make this Gundam stand up, and anything that you see on the box, etc., it's always on this stand, which is included, so that's a big plus, of course, but it's built right into the directions that you build everything onto here, and then you attach the legs on afterwards. But that does not fill me with a lot of confidence in its ability to stand up on its own, and though I've seen pictures of it online standing up, it does look pretty horrible because it has huge balance issues, as it should, since it's so top heavy. So if you buy this kit, you'll be impressed with what you get inside the box, because this is going to be a beast, and it gets even beastlier once it's all put together. Anyway, everybody stay tuned for the next couple parts. This is Robert184, as always, gundam.tk. If you like the video, hit like, and always let me know with a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, everybody. How'd you get to enter into the Gundam World Cup anyway?